ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of the Turbocast for Sunday 4th of October 2009. My name's Simon and I'm joined as always by Dr. Brownell. How are you, Doctor?
I'm fabulously well, Simon.
Very glad to hear it. I've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to do the usual segments, and as a special treat we have a new feature which is Turbocast Feature Presentation Theatre. So we'll get to that in due course. Before I do anything else, I'd like to direct you to youtube.com/goreedy, where you can enjoy the music of Dr. Brownell, and also our video Cooking with the Turbocast is now live. You can enjoy that. We've had an absolutely fabulous response to it, and I'd like to send out a very big thank you to long-term friend of the Turbocast, Keith. In fact, he's not just getting thanks, he's getting props and a big up. So thank you, Keith. Awesome job on the video, and I urge everybody to go to youtube.com/goreedy and check it out.
Did he get respect there?
Yeah, well, props is a form of respect, isn't it?
Is it? Oh,
as far as I know.
Forgive my ignorance.
I might have to Wikipedia that later on, but I believe props is short for proper respect.
Ah, right.
So, but anyway, bang up job on the video, so thank you for that. For all your other Turbocast related web needs, go to turbocast.podbean.com. Send us any feedback, questions or comments about the show to turbocast@live.co.uk.
Is that the right one?
Yes, that's exactly right. Because
Oh,
Dr. Brownell is referring to my faux pas on the last episode where I read out the wrong email and then went round saying, "Well, I've got no fucking email." And it's because I'd given the wrong email address out. But anyway, there you go. The correct one is turbocast@live.co.uk. So, as usual, we're going to kick it off with digestion news. Now, would you like me to go first, Doctor, while you gather your thoughts, or do you want to kick it off?
No, I'll go first. You've done quite a lot of talking, so I'll chip in now.
Fire away. What's been going on in the reactor core?
Pretty quiet, I'm afraid to say. I did try really hard to make myself ill. On when was it? That was Friday. Yeah, Friday. I tried to make myself ill in some way. I went out for a works reunion. Ate lots and lots of rich food. Drank lots of lots of beer.
Nice.
I actually drank quite a lot of brown ale.
Oh, great. I believe brown ale does have somewhat of a reputation for a deleterious effect on the digestive system.
Indeed, yes. So I'd scooped many bottles of brown ale straight from the bottle. We actually, I think we left the casino about 2:30, 3 o'clock. I think we left the casino about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Made our way back to Hartlepool.
Obviously, you've flown with wine at this point.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. We're in high spirits, and we instructed the taxi driver to scour the town for an open fast food outlet. We were desperate for kebabs.
At this point,
and I hate kebabs.
Yeah, I believe we've got your kebab sentiments on record in episode 2. But
oh, bloody hell, I can't remember that.
At this point, the taxi driver must be wondering the decisions he took in life that led him to that situation, as he's driving two people in high spirits around Hartlepool at 3 a.m. looking for an open kebab shop.
He seemed fine, you know. He was
yeah,
he was getting paid. So
I suppose.
Anyway, I think if we had managed to find somewhere that was open, I'd have had something really, really good for you for this episode. But unfortunately, we didn't. So it was back to mine, and it was sort of foraging in the kitchen. for anything we could find, basically. Because I do my shop on a Monday, so the cupboard was bare.
All right,
so
you
to speak.
basically foraging at this point.
Yeah, so I think there was toast and cheese spread and tubes, some sort of corn tubes or something. And I think later on in the proceedings, I found a large block of strong red Leicester at the back of the fridge. That could have been there for some time.
Probably left over from the Turbo Burger.
I don't think so. But so that was it. I mean, you're not going to make yourself ill eating, cheese on toast and corn snacks.
Well, I do recall an incident in years gone by where you prepared a dish that was toast with very, very cold coleslaw with molten cheese on top of that, and that did make you ill.
Well, coleslaw can always make you ill.
Yeah, it's the worst food in the world. It looks horrible. It fucking tastes horrible. It's really bad for you.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no coleslaw. Yeah, quite. I used to eat. I used to have sarnies at work, and I would put 2 tins of tuna and a full tub of coleslaw in and just mix it all together.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've got some good memories of coleslaw. So that was it, really. I really tried, but I failed.
Oh, well, there's no disgrace in that, Doctor, but just see what you can do for us next weekend.
I'm sure I'll have something for next time.
Awesome. I do have a bit of a digestion news update. If you listen to episode 3, you may recall I had a very, very trying experience with a low-quality chicken curry and a pink yogurt drink. And I did actually eat another one and drink the same drink and didn't feel the same pain. So I feel the curry's probably exonerated on that point.
That's a shame.
Yeah. But I did have one exceptional bout of indigestion last night where I went out to dinner, and I now feel I'm under some sort of obligation to the audience to try and induce digestive trauma at every turn. So I scanned the menu and I ordered the 500 gram pavé de bœuf avec sauce roquefort. Pavé is French for cobblestone. So a pavé de bœuf is a cobblestone-shaped lump of beef, and it was enhanced with a sauce made from blue Roquefort cheese, which is so incredibly rich, and loads of tomatoes and mushrooms and frites with mayonnaise on. I could feel that brewing up quite nicely, and I topped it off with an espresso, and the coffee in Belgium is always very, very strong, so the espresso was just like an egg cup full of tar. And as I drank that, the pain started almost immediately, and I had to drive home bent double with my face in the steering wheel. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like I went the distance for the audience.
Yeah, I mean that's a good effort, but obviously you're in the position where you're sort of fighting with one hand tied behind your back, so to speak. Not partaking of the loudmouth soup.
No,
I mean, if you'd had that and 10 bottles of brown ale, you'd have been onto something. So,
but
you're doing your best with the tar, but
Yeah, what I often find with indigestion is it takes a combination of things to get the reaction, and the very, very strong espresso coffee was what it took last night just to kick it all off.
Mm.
So I often find it. I do like an espresso after dinner. I often find that's what nearly puts me in the ground.
Yeah, I haven't had. In the past, before we were famous Turbocasters, I would get the jets, the acid jets.
Oh yeah.
During the night. I haven't had those for ages. But I've got to do something really, really, over the top to get that.
I had no idea what you were talking about with the Jets there. I thought, what the fuck is he talking about? West Side Story?
No, I would. It's when I eat really late and a huge amount of really greasy food. Go to sleep and I would be woken up, and it's usually when I start coughing, and when I cough, just it must be like a raw stomach acid sort of comes up and goes into my nose and on the back of my throat, and I feel like I'm choking, and it usually lasts an hour or two.
Yeah.
And all I can do is sit there and sip milk and just wait for it to pass. But I haven't had that for some time.
Well, I feel I can confidently speak on the behalf of the audience, and we'd all like you to experience another episode of that and come back and tell us about it.
It never happened very often because, like I say, I had to do something really special. Maybe it's like a pizza, kebab, burger combo.
The trifecta.
Yeah, and it's generally when I've had nothing to eat all day, so I'm stupidly hungry.
Yeah.
And I don't get to eat late at night, and I just get some good momentum up, and manage to get a lot of it inside me, and then just wait for the fireworks. But I haven't had it for a while. So.
Awesome. Well, see what you can do for us next weekend, and when we get to episode 5, we'll see what's going on with the digestion.
Yep, fingers crossed.
All right, so very brief digestion news for us there. Is there any current events or non-digestion related news you want to cover?
I don't think so.
All right.
No, nothing's happening at all in my life that I can talk about on air.
All right.
I'll speak to you after the show, Simon.
All right, I'll look forward to that. So let's move it into Bullshit or Not, where we analyse news stories from the internet, hold them up to the light for the taint of truth or falsehood. So, first story, not from China for once, it's from California. Kobayashi reclaims hamburger title. Japanese speed-eating legend Takeru Kobayashi has reclaimed the world hamburger eating title. The 31-year-old devoured 93 crystal hamburgers in 8 minutes, setting a world record. Reigning champion Joey Chestnut of San Jose, California, finished second with 81 at the Crystal Square Off World Hamburger Eating Championships in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Apologies, it's from Tennessee, not California. So, are you familiar with crystal hamburgers?
No.
Right, crystal
champagne. Obviously.
Crystal is a chain of restaurants across the south of the United States, so I don't believe they go any further west than Texas and probably no further north than Virginia. And a crystal hamburger is quite small. It's maybe, I don't know, it's square.
Ugh.
Yeah, because they come in like 6-packs, so you have to fit together in the 6-pack. And
all right.
I would say they're maybe 3 or 4 centimetres on each edge of the square. And the key selling point of the crystal is that the bread has onion flavour baked in. So, I mean, 93 of anything. I don't think I could eat 93 midget gems, never mind 93 crystal burgers. 93 of anything is an awesome undertaking.
Yeah, it's So let's work this out. How many? What's the rate of input then, just to get an idea of it?
Well,
a burger every how many seconds? Because you the maths, man.
He's eating about 12 burgers a minute, so one every 5 seconds. But he's sustaining that for 8 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, the instinct says no.
Well,
I just
the raw numbers as presented to me, say, physically impossible. But Crystal is a pretty big and fairly well-known restaurant chain, so the thing that tends to lead me toward branding it as true is that they just couldn't afford to be involved with a fraudulent hamburger eating event.
Yeah, I mean, the story. I mean, you'd think, why make this up? You know, it's not the sort of thing you would make up when we've had all the other ridiculous things. It's not. It's just somebody ate loads. Maybe it is true. That name certainly rings a bell. I've heard of Joey Chestnut.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that name.
Well, the Kobayashi name rang a bell with me because if you cast your mind back to Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, the test that the young cadet Kirk has to face is the Kobayashi Maru, which was the name of the spaceship he had to rescue.
All right.
So Joey Chestnut's a big name in the competitive eating game.
I wouldn't go that far, but it certainly did ring a bell. I don't know. I'm really. I'm a bit split on this one. I really don't know.
Yeah, because I mean the numbers defy belief because a Crystal hamburger is. I've never had a Crystal hamburger, but I have had a White Castle slider, which is exactly the same miniature burger product. I had mine in Indiana. And
So how many of those could you eat?
I think like a comfortable meal would be 6 to 8. If I had to, I could maybe eat 20.
Yeah.
But and that would take me a while. I certainly couldn't sustain a burger every 5 seconds for 8 minutes.
How many chicken McNuggets did we eat?
I did 60, didn't I? The challenge was 60 in 60 minutes. What
Yeah.
Dr. Brownhill is referring to here is a pre-Turbocast multimedia presentation where we attempted to see if we could eat 60 McNuggets each in 60 minutes. I'd failed abysmally, and I've no excuses for that, other than...
I failed slightly less abysmally.
I can't remember how many I ate. Was it 40? 42 sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was something in that region. Yeah.
And long-time friend of the Turbocast, Mark, who I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying this, doesn't have a shit-hot reputation as a trencher. I mean, he wouldn't have been strongly fancied in the pre-event betting. Put the 60 away with, a little bit of stress.
Some relish.
Yeah, I mean, he had bloodshot eyes at the end, but he was in okay shape.
I was blown away by his performance, to be honest.
And I think I'll beat myself mentally. The challenge was just too big for me. If it was just see how many chicken McNuggets you can eat, I probably could have done more. But because it was the 60 and 60 aspect of it, I feel...
You went off really quickly, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certainly not the eating machine I once was. I mean, when I was at my 21 stone disgusting death, I think I'd have eaten them and I'd have eaten him to finish with. But
Have you...
now I'm a lean 17.5 stone. You can't do it.
No. So have you still got that video?
Yeah, I've got the tape. I think it was an hour, wasn't it? Well, no, I think we turned it off about 45 minutes. I was planning to send it to our man in Singapore, but as we were both shown up so badly, I didn't think it would be
Well, I do think
such a great film.
I do think there is some value in it, possibly edited down to 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
there is the comedy values that I don't think the winner would be that keen on having it on YouTube, so it's almost certainly something we should do.
Yeah, possibly. I'd maybe like to have another go.
Really?
Yeah, and we could do it as a Turbocast special. I think I wasn't was a bit off colour that night, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very unpleasant because after the first, I don't know, 15 chicken McNuggets, they just tasted like soap to me.
Yeah, yeah. There was something strange went on the day after as well, wasn't there? Did we have any reaction?
I was a little bit loose, but I don't remember being violently ill, so it can't have been that bad.
It wasn't like what do they call those pizzas that always make you shit rotten?
I don't know if we can say that, we might get sued.
Really?
Yeah, all we'll say is they're named after...
Just think of a really clever, thing where you don't have to say it. Is it like is it a board game?
Yeah.
That you play with
with
the spots on them.
I think Dr. Brownhill's knees were knocking the next day when he shat himself after he ate this pizza.
Oh yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, someone will get that.
But I think that corporation is notoriously litigious.
Well, there's only 4 people listening to this, isn't there?
Having said that, being sued by a major corporation would probably be the greatest thing that could happen to the Turbocast.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. But I mean, it's the truth. I mean, if they want to come and test it, watch me eat one, and every time my guts will ache, and I shall shoot forth, If they want to check. So if I'm only telling the truth, I'm not saying it has that effect on everybody, but it does on me.
Sue and be damned.
Yeah. So
the best bit of the 60 McNuggets in 60 minutes challenge, which I think we would have to capture somehow if we...
It was when you stopped.
No, it was when we went into McDonald's and bought them.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Because we went into McDonald's, it was 180 McNuggets we ordered, and all the people rushed out from the kitchen to check it wasn't some sort of elaborate hoax.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I think in conclusion we begrudgingly giving a not bullshit to the hamburger eating record.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I brought that eating challenge up just to give us a bit of, what's the word?
Perspective?
Yeah,
context?
Yeah, context. That's it, context.
Because a crystal burger is much bigger than a chicken McNugget.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. That's why I brought it up. So I'd love to think it wasn't true, but I think it probably is. But I mean, these people that eat chicken wings, that's a big one, isn't it? And there's some woman who weighs about 5 stone. She's the world champion or something. A Chinese woman.
I don't know. I did see something where people who are on the professional eating circuit, they train on watermelon because it's very cheap and it doesn't make you fat.
All right, but it stretches your innards.
So I'd suggest you get yourself to Tesco's and buy a load of watermelon.
Yeah. Obviously, don't any of you try any of this at home. It's just for eating professionals, and dickheads like us.
Well, the week after next...
Well, if you do it, send us an email about it or something.
From your hospital bed.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to New York the week after next, and in White Castle, which is another burger chain which sells these very similar miniature burgers, you can buy frozen ones. So if I get sufficiently organised, I could buy some freezer bags and then buy a couple of 100 White Castle sliders and we could give it a go.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a lot of logistics would have to go right for that to happen, so I don't know. I'll have a look at that. Right, next story. Fish with human teeth caught in Russia.
Sorry.
Fisherman Valeri from Russia's southern Urals was catching fish in a small lake about 40 kilometres far from the city of Chelyabinsk. The man was... I think Chelyabinsk is the most polluted city in the world, I've read, so this may have a bearing on the development of the fish. The man was...
Has Hartlepool been dethroned?
I don't even think... Chelyabinsk...
Hartlepool can't sue me, can they?
No.
That's all right.
Well, Chelyabinsk was the centre of highly toxic Soviet industries to do with heavy metals, and they had the typical communist approach to environmental matters. I believe it's the most polluted place in the world.
What do they make poor people eat it? Oh, they're all poor, aren't they?
Valeri was. The man was fishing, sitting in his boat. It was a very quiet morning and the man was very sleepy. all of a sudden he saw a fish net in the bulrushes. See, my bullshit detector's twitching here because of the rather lyrical pastoral description of Valeri fishing.
Yeah.
Valeri decided to pull the net out of the water. There were several dead fish in it, but one of them, which was quite large in size, was alive. The shape of its body and head was very unusual. The man tried to get the fish out of the net, but was horrified to see the fish had a row of white, strong teeth in its mouth. The teeth of the fish bore a striking resemblance to those of a human being. The man left his catch at the lakeside and hurried to return home. He came back the next day. The fish was dead. He decided to bring the fish home and show it to his friends. The fisherman placed the weird fish under a thick layer of salt to dry the creature out. "I hope it will attract scientists' attention before it finally decomposes," he said. Local ichthyologists said it was most likely a big-mouthed buffalo, also known as an ichthyobus. This species used to be cultivated in the region during the 1980s. However, when specialists saw pictures of the fish, they could only shrug their shoulders. Russian ichthyologists believe that the caught fish does not represent a mutation. Such a mutation would take hundreds of years. However, they have no other explanation for this strange phenomenon. Bullshit.
Other than it's bullshit.
Bullshit. All day and all night.
Yeah, there's holes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And I would like to see a fish with humans' teeth, but nah.
But
why didn't he just take it home straight away? Why did he?
Well, here's my theory.
Left on the lakeside and hurried home.
I think
he came back the next day. I mean, why didn't he just take it home with him? Sorry, go on.
Well, Chelyabinsk is obviously an extremely poor region, and I think this is his bid for some degree of notoriety or hopefully fortune. That he's got a fish and got some teeth from somewhere, Christ knows where, and made this ghastly hominoculus.
I'd like to think that was true.
And that's why he's kept it in a semi-perished condition, because it's harder to fake a completely fresh human-toothed fish. But if it's been under a layer of salt for a couple of weeks and it's all dropping to bits anyway, then maybe you can get away with it.
Maybe he'd get his leg over.
What?
Maybe it'd make him sort of famous, and then he'd get his leg over.
Well, I've got to say that wouldn't be the approach that would spring to mind, but who can say? But do you believe it?
What, that it's all true?
Yeah, that he's caught a fish with you. They're not you. There is a picture of it in the article. I'm sure if you Google fish Russia human teeth, you'll see it, and they do look a lot like human teeth.
Right.
Now,
so what's this thing about Texas, though?
A similar fish with human-like teeth was caught not long ago in Texas. The catch weighed 6.5 kilos. Scientists said that it was a pacu, a piranha, which normally inhabits South America. I'm not sure this has anything to do with it. It's just another paragraph in the article.
Well, I mean, sort of, they're saying that there can be a fish that would look like this. So why the shrug on the shoulders? I don't understand.
Well, I'd presume you couldn't. The piranha is a tropical species.
No, sorry, I mean the original Russian.
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Lunatic. Sorry, go on.
Well, I presume that there's no way a piranha could survive in Chelyabinsk, which is probably frozen fucking solid 8 months of the year.
All right, what's this big mouth buffalo then?
That was the local fish specialist's guess, but when they saw it, they said, "Nah, it's not a big mouth buffalo."
Ah, right.
They could only shrug their shoulders, apparently.
All right.
So
no, it's crap, isn't it?
It is crap, in my opinion.
Yes.
But what do you know about the structure of fish teeth? Because I believe they're not structured with enamel like mammals' teeth.
I don't know. Some fish have got proper teeth, haven't they? I think pike have got really good teeth, like properly. I don't know what they're made out of, but look like teeth. They're like spiky things in the mouths. I mean, I've done a bit of fishing, and
That's why I
you know,
selected the story, because I know you're a keen amateur angler and have an extensive knowledge
I wouldn't go that far.
extensive knowledge of zoology.
I've pulled the odd trout in and smashed its skull in. I never saw any teeth come out. And when you pull the worm out of its gob, it's just like a tongue thing. No, but I've seen a pike and they've got like spiky teeth, and barracudas, they've got teeth, I think.
But I'm voting bullshit. Well, I mean, where are you with this?
Yeah, I think I'm sitting in the bullshit camp on that one.
Yeah, as they say in Russia, Diermo Bika, bullshit. So, last story, not China, but close. Teenager chops off father's hands. Police say a 17-year-old Taiwanese boy has been arrested for chopping off his father's hands to avenge years of physical abuse. Police say the boy cut through his father's wrists with a knife while he was asleep at the family home in central Miaoli. The 37-year-old father had divorced Ironsmith is in a stable condition after doctors reattached his severed hands. The boy admitted to cutting off his father's hands and showed no remorse. The boy complained that his father had beat him after he'd refused to get a job while attending school. The boy has been handed over to a juvenile court that will decide whether to file charges. I'm no fucking way is my feeling on this one.
Yeah. And I bet you're going to say that sawing through his hands while his father slept.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I imagine that severing a human hand from a wrist, even if you were big and strong and had a really sharp knife, it's not a layup. You're going to have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I don't believe you could stay asleep while
somebody's sawing your hand off.
Yeah. Let alone not really come round long enough to let them do the second one as well.
Yeah, it's I'm just thinking about.
I mean, the only thing that did occur to me is possibly the father was full of rice wine.
Yeah, yeah.
But could you ever be passed out drunk enough that somebody could cut off your hands?
I really don't know. I would say not. I mean, you know, you got like a lot of nerves and shit.
Oh yeah.
Going on at the end of your arms, haven't you? So it'd have to be exceedingly painful, the initial sort of cut.
Mm-hmm.
I once had an operation on my wrist. I had a ganglion cyst.
Oh yeah.
That's quite a common thing. So it's probably, and it was just at the point where I suppose if you wanted to cut somebody's hands off, you know, that's where you would start sawing. When I had the operation, it was in the days when I was fat and horrible. And I went to the hospital and I got my my body mass index taken, which you have to do before you have any operation.
Was the doctor like calling other people into the room saying, fucking hell, come and have a look at this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think even when I was, say, 21 stone, I still didn't look that terrible with my clothes on. But she said, I'm sorry you're right off the scale. Nobody will operate on you. And she said, I don't believe it to look at you. You know, but I've always thought that like Superman, I am dense.
Ah, right.
My body is really dense.
I've got to say that right off the scale is never a phrase you want to hear coming from the mouth of a medical professional.
No, so anyway, they couldn't find anyone who would operate on me apart from this old lady who was in retirement.
Was she?
She said
she was a doctor, though.
I'm not sure. She didn't have a very good reputation, but she said she would come out of retirement to cut this cyst out of my wrist,
Yeah,
which was good.
pass me my glasses. I'm going to cut this bastard up.
Yeah, so if it had been open heart surgery or something, I'd probably declined it.
Vasectomy.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, it was a local anaesthetic, and it was pretty cool actually. I got this like huge like rubber thing that covered my whole arm, and I got my hand got frozen and all sorts of shit, and she was like sawing into my wrist, and I felt this extreme pain, and I screamed out, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll put a bit more of this stuff in." And, like, she jabbed a needle in me.
This really doesn't strike me as the absolute cutting edge of medical science.
Well, I mean, everything apart from that did seem really good. The amount of cleaning and everything around it, but she just didn't put enough stuff in, and so she was like sawing through it, and the pain was really, really intense. So that's quite a good, gives you an idea of what this guy must have felt. So from my experience, I would say no, it's not possible.
I fully agree. There's the story's either a complete fabrication or it's a cover for something else. I'm just not buying a double hand amputation while somebody's asleep.
Yeah, maybe some sort of mafia or something, or
I don't know what's gone on, but the story is bullshit.
Yeah, maybe the boy did a sexual favour to a Yakuza or something, and he came around with his machete and chopped his dad's hands off in one go.
See, that sounds more feasible.
Yeah.
Although we triad, not Yakuza.
Yeah, it was the first thing that came to my head.
Right, so that wraps up Bullshit or Not, and I think we're on 2-1 bullshit against truth, so we only believe the 93 hamburgers in 8 minutes.
Yeah, but I do want to see that. I want to, I'll be checking that out after the show.
All right, go and Google it. So, we have a new feature now. If you were listening last week on Dr. Brownell's Day-to-Day from Years to Go, we read a diary entry in which Dr. Brownell recounted writing an English essay at school for which he received the outstanding mark of 8 out of 10. Now, in a very fortunate twist of history, a recording has survived through the years, and we were able to present a young Dr. Brownell actually reading the Highwayman essay for us. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a Turbocast Feature Presentation Theatre, The Highwayman.
The highwayman. I sped along the dusty road, twigs and leaves hitting me in the face. Moonlight, my sleek stallion gently slowed as we approached the inn. My cloak flapped in the violent ice-cold wind as I tapped on the shutters with my whip. As there was no response, I whistled a tune which Bess, my love, one had ordered. The latch jerked, and starting at the door was Bess and bouncing blonde. I said to her, "My dear, what next the moon shines brightly? I shall return with many a gift for you, and also gold for our wedding day, which is approaching much too slowly for my love-drained heart." With great speed I turned and shot off with great speed to place where the stagecoach would last be expecting ambush. Rattle, rattle went the wheels of the stage. Coach as I pounced out, gun in hand, instead of the much-used sayings, "Stand and delivery, and your money or your life." I said, "Make a donation of silver and gold, or diamonds and jewels of beauty untold. If you do not, I'll give you some lead. I'm not a good shot, but I won't miss your head." An elderly man and woman jumped from the stage coach with as much energy as a dehydrated apple car. Although plainly dressed, they possessed a satisfying amount of gold and unavailable possessions. Pleased with myself, I returned to my small but warm hideout deep in the forest. The following night, I mounted my stallion once more and set off on the route which I know well how. As I reached for my whip to tap on the shutters, I heard a gunshot and, due to instinct, fled. The following morning, my informant, Nick Swift, told me what had really happened. The previous night, driven by the insensitive that my loved one was died, I rode to the inn with a great haste. Before the inn was within splitting distance, several shots were fired at me, and the next thing I knew, I was down here, underground from hell.
Excellent rendition there. I'm slightly moved by that. So, now onto the diary itself. Dr. Brownell's day-to-day from years ago for October the 4th. Doctor, is the diary ready?
Yeah, it's in my hand, Simon. I'm really excited.
Right.
As I usually am at this point. I'm opening the diary, folks.
Right, let's transport ourselves back to 1977, October the 4th.
Right, here we go. October the 4th, 1977. Tomorrow it is football practice. Today I baked 12 icing cakes at school.
Did you try and eat them and to establish some sort of record?
I don't know, quite possibly. Yeah, that's cool. So how old was I then?
10.
All right.
Once again, we have...
Oh, do kids do that at school these days?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Bake cakes.
I mean, you wouldn't be allowed to go anywhere near anything hot, would you?
Yeah.
And again, we have the strange diary practice of telling us what you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I would do that quite a lot. You know, if it was a slow news day, I would say tomorrow I'm going to do this, and the next day I'll say the same thing. Today I did this.
You're just going to...
I'm looking across the other page here. I must
Right.
stop that. 1978.
Yep.
Today we had to write an essay for French. I gave my dad my £13, and he is going to get me a metal detector.
Awesome.
In brackets, he is going to the betting shop. That's not really written down here. That,
I was going to say that would be an advanced level of cynicism for an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
But the metal detector did appear, I remember.
Did it?
You had a metal detector.
No, I don't remember ever having one.
All right.
So, I'll.
I remember a great deal of metal detector discussion.
Yeah, but I don't think it ever materialised. I do have one now, though.
All right. Have you ever found anything with it?
Yeah, nothing of any value.
Well, keep at it.
Right, here we go, 79. I wrote an 8-verse poem for English on the School of the Future.
Oh, can I just say now that your mission when we finish this podcast is to go into the archives, and locate that poem.
I already have.
Oh wow, fantastic work.
When I was looking for the Highwayman, I found it. So there you go. There's material for TC5.
Yes, that will hopefully, if we can pull it together, that will be the Turbocast Feature Presentation Theatre. The,
That'll be worth hearing.
Oh.
Very good.
the school of the future in is it rhyming verse?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll look forward to that a lot.
Right, 79 continued. My granny is here for the second day. I got 16 out of 17 in a German test.
Sehr good. You're always bigging up your proficiency with German.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unglaublich.
Yeah. Right, here we go, 1980. Kenny is at Blackpool. Pete is taking him, his mum, Jill, and possibly Bob.
Kenny is a star of previous diary entries, but I've no idea who any of Peter and possibly Bob. Do you know who any of them are?
I don't know. He quite often used to sing this song, something like Bob with a droopy red knob or something.
Oh, God.
1980 continued. I watched Hammer House of Horror. It was of a better standard than last week.
God, you must have watched that shit a lot. I think that's 3 times it's been mentioned.
Yeah. I had a good game of footy.
Oh, God, it's the Blackpool trip that's slain me.
It was a good year. 1981. Prince Charming is still number 1.
I believe this was commented on in the last diary entry too.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah.
Prince Charming is still number 1 in the Radio T's, Radio Luxembourg and Radio 1 charts. I did 2 of the 3 homeworks needed to do. 1 using my calculator. I watched a film called The Warlord.
The Warlord.
Here's a chart. Oh, Charlton Heston. Just like right in the corner, I've just written Charlton Heston. So you assume that the film starred Charlton Heston. And that's it.
Now, I'm just on IMDb.
Yeah.
And there is no film called The Warlord in English.
Well, dial up Charlton Heston and I'll see which films he's done.
Yeah, Charlton Heston's been in about 1,000 films. It'll take me a while to scroll down through them all.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll know roughly what year it's going to be.
Yeah, this is gripping radio, isn't it?
I was going to say, you're not allowed to go.
Dead Air is a Crime, Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
But it could have been made any time.
I want to read 1980 again.
Go on then, read 1980 again.
Kenny is at Blackpool. Pete is taking him, his mum, Jill, and possibly Bob. I watched Hammer House of Horror. It was of a better standard than last week. I had a good game of footy. I love that diary entry.
Right, well, we've got a bit of a historical enigma here because Charlton Heston's never been in any film with any title remotely like The Warlord. So I think we're going to have to do a bit of research on that one.
Yeah, there's a bit of a strangeness going on in the in the corner of this entry here. There's me do one using my calculator. Then there's like this looks like art or something, or No, something of Charlton Heston.
What's the film where John Wayne played Genghis Khan? Could you have confused John Wayne and Charlton Heston?
I really don't know.
That's The Conqueror.
Oh no, I wouldn't have thought so.
That's The Conqueror, anyway.
I must find out about
Yeah,
that.
we're going to have to research that one offline. But an initial trawl through IMDb doesn't leave us any the wiser.
All right.
So, is that the last diary entry?
That was it, yeah.
God, that was. But just to go back to Kenny's trip to Blackpool, you've no idea who Peter or Bob were.
Oh well, yeah. Hang on, let me. Pete. Well, his mum is Kenny's mum. Jill was Kenny's sister.
Ah.
And I think I once saw her bride. and it was on her.
Yeah.
And that image stayed with me.
It would be a great day if we could happen across that diary entry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, I think the pages might be stuck together, though. Yeah, she was older than us.
Yeah.
And she was amply developed. So, you know. There you go. So, yeah, Jill was... I'm pretty sure Jill was Kenny's sister, so it was his mum. Pete is taking him. There was a Peter who lived next door to Kenny. He that might have been him.
All right.
But I'm surprised.
But
I would have thought I'd have called him Peter rather than Pete. And I say Bob, I think, was Kenny's mum's boyfriend, and he was the one that Kenny.
Well, don't forget Bob was only
his...
Bob was only a possible on the Blackpool trip.
Yeah. But Kenny always used to go on about his wrinkly old knob. That's why.
Lovely. So, I mean, the diary never disappoints, and that was once again a very, very high quality set of entries.
Yeah, up to 1980, I was getting a bit worried there were going to be no gems. But there you go.
No, it never disappoints. So now we get to the part of the show that's what you, the audience, make it. It's time to stick our hands in the turbo sack and see what's in there. So we've got a lot of mail. I think we're a little bit pushed for time, so we'll cover what we can. First mail is from another long-term friend of the Turbocast, Turbo Dog Leach, and he writes, Dear Simon and Dr. B, can you please pass on to the world your fantastic recipe for trollop mix? It has been such a long time since I encountered this food of the gods, I would appreciate a reminder. Perhaps you could recreate it in the Turbocast kitchen if you can find one of those school dinner serving trays. Keep up the good work, Turbo Dog Leach. So do you want to break down the trollop mix?
You want me to go into detail about this? We're not going to do a special.
Well,
you want me to?
I think people need to know what trollop mix was, and it was a recipe, I suppose, of what a young Dr. Brownhill used.
Yeah, well, it's not really a recipe. It was more a concoction or
a melange.
Yeah,
and
it was more. I think it was more a statement actually at the time.
Yeah, and it was always prepared.
I won't conform.
Prepared from various things that were served as part of the school dinner. So just give us the headline constituents without.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think it can be ingredients because it was different every day.
Oh, really? I thought there was a classic lineup.
Well,
I'll tell you what I think was in it, and then you can tell me if my memory's faulty or not. Because I'm not exaggerating. It must be 30 years since we've talked about this. So I think it was either mince or minced beef pie, grated carrots, mashed potato and beans, all mixed together in the form of slurry.
You're close, but no cigar. Strangely enough, I've actually talked about this within the last couple of weeks. Would you believe? Yeah, it was. It was generally a pie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a steak and kidney pie, or it might have been a mince pie. And there was always grated carrot. I loved grated carrot. Big dollop of that. Mashed potato, beans. I don't know whether there was a splash of gravy on there or whether it was just the gravy from the pie.
Yeah.
And then whatever the custard and the sponge of the day for the sweet.
Oh, that's it.
And then I would tip the sweet, the custard and the sponge over into the savoury segment of the tray, mix it all together so it was,
Yeah, it was almost like some
to a paste.
Astronaut food of the future because it had everything you needed and was also in a paste, so it could have been served from a tube.
So I mixed it all together into this big mush, and I really enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. I may have started to do it in the beginning because I thought it was big and clever, but I think I really liked it.
So I think we can exclusively reveal that we are going to attempt to recreate Trollop Mix in another episode of Cooking with the Turbocast and put the video up on YouTube. So I'm not sure when we're going to get round to this, but hopefully in the next month or so. But
I'm really looking forward to that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of ingredients, so it's going to take some doing, but we will do it and film it and get it up on YouTube.
Do I have to make a pie?
I think
and make a sponge, or are we allowed to buy a pie and a?
Well, if we're making the pie and the sponge from scratch, we're going to be in there all friggin' day. I think a pre-bought pie and sponge honours the spirit of Trollop Mix because you didn't make them when you invented it. It was dispensed to you by a fat dinner lady.
I suppose so. Yeah. And the thing is, I suppose if the ingredients taste like shit, then there's no way of getting a true reflection because the pie was always good at school.
So there's your answer, Turbo Dog Leech, and watch out for the video. So I think we've probably got time for one more letter, and we're going to go to Mark in Germany, who would like to know what our experience with piles stroke hemorrhoids are. So I believe we've both been blessed by these. So
this is it's a rich vein for me.
So I think my experience is probably the lesser, so I'll go first, and then we'll go out on a high note with your Piles Odyssey. So I've had a couple of bouts, none too severe, and I think they take more of a psychological and a physical toll, because they don't really debilitate you that much at the degree I had them, but there's always that dread that they're going to get a lot worse, and you never ever want to be seeking medical attention in the downtown area. And I can remember on the episodes I have had with them, you get that itching sensation, and I'm thinking, just let it stay there, go on, let that be it, don't let the situation get any worse. And every now and then I would the sensation would go on. I think it's been a couple of days now, maybe that's it, and I would tentatively flex my sphincter to see if I would get a twinge, and if there was anything there, I thought, oh Jesus Christ, I still got them, the bastards. And if I got the clench out of the way with no twinges, then I knew I was in the clear.
Yeah.
So I don't attempt fate, but I would say it's been many a long year since I've been afflicted, probably a good 5 years, maybe even longer. I don't think I've had them since I've lived in Belgium, which is 7 years.
That sort of brings back a bit of a memory about something that you remember Darren.
Yeah, I do. Long-term friend of the Turbocast.
Yeah, he often used to talk about he had a peanut hanging out of his arse. Or he would say, like, it felt like there was a peanut, just sort of hanging out, and I never knew what he was trying to describe. You know, like he couldn't get it to go away, sort of thing.
Oh, he had a long-term one.
No, I didn't know whether he hadn't wiped his arse properly or something, or whether, and he was. I don't know whether he had pals and he didn't know it, perhaps.
But
You know,
I
bit of an itchy dish, you know. Maybe that's.
I feel your mission is to drop him a message on Facebook and get to the bottom of the peanut episode then.
But it wasn't always a peanut. It was something else. He said, "I've got a." Was it a hacksaw blade or something? that might have been something different. That might have been a real hacksaw blade. I will need to try and clear that up.
Yeah, I think a message on Facebook would reap its own reward there.
Yeah, I've been in touch with him recently, so I'll touch his base.
Yeah, wash your hands.
Or not, yeah. Yeah, I had a brush some years ago. Did you get claret?
Oh no, never.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I haven't done much research. I don't know how nasty they get. But you know, it was bad enough to go to the doctors.
So, I mean, the show's running long, but I feel this is something we can't gloss over. Do you go to the doctors and say, you know,
my arse hurts and there's loads of blood in me shit.
Yeah, and then does he like bend you over the desk and get a mag light out and have a look up there?
No, he puts his finger up your arse. Oh, that's what well, I don't know whether he does that for everybody.
He doesn't have a look first.
Yeah, he pulls the cheeks apart, you know. And then up goes the digit.
Does it hurt?
You know, and that's fine, you know.
Yeah?
It's uncomfortable. I've had worse things shoved in holes in my body. So anyway, he says, yeah, there's something going on in there. Go and see the consultant. So I went to Hartlepool General Hospital. I think it was an Indian gentleman,
and he said your BMI's too high. We're gonna have to get.
I can't look at your ass.
We'll have to get.
No, I think it was that long ago that I was probably quite lean at the time.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, he bends me over, you know, gets my ass sticking right up in the air.
Is he an arse specialist or is he just?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how specialised you get with that, but I don't know whether he's an arse doctor or.
Uh-huh.
So I've, you know, on the sort of trolley thing with me arse pointing in the air. He says, "Yeah, you've got some." I can't do an Indian accent. He says, "Yeah, you got some piles going on there, mate."
Uh-huh.
He said, "Would you like me to take a few of them off now?" You
know,
he said,
shit.
There's,
right there.
yeah, he said. Yeah, he said there's no pain involved because there's no nerves in them. You know, just whip them off. No pain at all. He lied. It was. I said, "Yeah, go on. You know, take them off."
What's he using to take them off?
Well, that's the thing. I've been. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know whether he's burning them off or snipping them off.
Obviously, you can't see because you're bent over.
Yeah, all I feel is it's like the searing pain shooting up through like the core of my body. He says, "There you go. You know, trimmed them up a bit. You know,
like he just gives you a haircut."
Yeah, he got his secateurs out and just, you know, pruned them down. And then...
Was there any blood when he did all of this?
I don't think so. No, he just said, "Oh, there you go." He wiped my ass and, you know, sent me on my way. Now, that was like sharp pain. But over the next 2 hours, it got worse and worse and worse. Like a throbbing pain.
Yeah.
Like I'd, you know... like something had been rammed up my ass, you know, something big, you know, and really hard. And it was, oh, God.
And at this point, if there was
the John Wayne walk, you know.
If there was ever any doubt, it was at this point that your rampant heterosexuality was confirmed.
Well, yeah. Well, there was never any doubt, but...
This brought it home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was it pretty much. No. Was that Was that when I got the camera up?
I don't know.
I think to be really thorough, they wanted to send the camera up, and that was when I had the camera up. I think I'm pretty sure, and that was quite special.
So it's a pity you don't get to take the video home on a memory stick or something.
Well, I went in there and they said, "Do you want some drugs?" No, that was it. I was informed by the nurses in my family that you'd be offered some drugs.
Yeah.
You generally get drugs, and I was in the filming room, and I said to the nurse, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get some drugs." She said, "Nah, you don't need them. We just give them to old ladies,
Yeah, pansies and little girls."
I said, oh, that's fine, that'd be no problem. So you get in there, lay on your side, and then you get to see this like huge sort of like truncheon thing, huge silver truncheon, and the doctor, I think he was Indian, he said, "Oh, there's the television screen there, if you want to watch," and he said, "There's the gas and air if you need it." I don't really like gas and air, if it gets painful, because what they do is they fire loads of air up your arse so the truncheon can, go around unimpeded.
Yeah.
So I started watching the thing, and I thought, nah, that's not for me. So I turned away. I thought I saw a bit, and it was just all like red, slime and stuff. So nah. So he went up. I'm missing loads of the story out here because we're a bit pushed for time. That was, all the laxative stuff before the Pico lax. I could do half an hour on that, but anyway, cut to the chase. He went up there. He said, "I can see some black stuff or something," but I think I'd had some Guinness recently, and I think that's what it was. And he went all the way up. Very, very well. I say very. It was painful.
Yeah.
It was like the worst sort of trapped wind you've ever had when he's pumping all this gas in. Slides it out. Yeah, you're fine. Pull your kecks up.
Get out.
Because I hadn't had any drugs, I could just walk home.
All right.
And all this gas that have pumped up there has to come out. So I'm like a fucking hovercraft on my way home. Just scooting along the road and
blowing off.
Yeah. So that was it for piles. I'm sure they'll come back one day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll both be blessed with them in the future. And I think on that musical note, we'll end what's been an outstanding episode of the podcast. So don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. If somebody would like to be the first person to leave us a review on iTunes, there is a
prize.
Yes, there's a Turbocast branded gift in it for you. So if somebody would like to leave a review, send us an email to turbocastlive.co.uk. I will abuse the free delivery system of my company to send you a Turbocast branded gift. Also, don't forget to dig the Turbocast. And finally, don't forget that Dr. Brownell's music can also be enjoyed at youtube.com/GoReady. So Dr. Brownell's going to play us out with a track called Cold Sun. Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, this track's about
a young lady.
Actually, a young lady from quite a long time ago. I suppose you could say first love. Totally smitten. Didn't think you could find a nicer looking woman. I was, I had it really bad.
Uh-huh.
I believe she was 15 at the time. Can I say that?
Oh yeah, in the hill tribes of northern Pakistan, it's perfectly legal.
I didn't know that. Obviously,
She's
told me she was 24, and I saw her for the first time in the Park Hotel in Hartlepool, which has a lot of memories for me. And I actually asked her out, in the Gemini club. I can remember strutting across the dance floor, and I said to her, "Are you going out with anybody?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Will you go out with me?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Yes." And I think that's probably one of the bravest things that I've done in my life.
Awesome.
There you go.
Take it away, Dr. Brownell.
Life had become a procession of gyros and heroes, but nobody knows. Now every time when I'm drinking, I'm constantly wondering and constantly thinking. So from that day on I could not forget you, but I would not let you be anyone else's. The thing was I loved you too much, but I couldn't touch you. It was 22 years ago when I saw you in the Park Hotel. You were dressed as a nun and your face burned me like a cold, cold sun. A cold, cold sun. So for the rest of my life I'll be wondering, feeling so sick at the thought of my blundering. Nothing can change what is done, so I'll keep on singing till my song is sung. It was 22 years ago when I saw you in the Park Hotel. You were dressed as a nun and your face burned me like a cold, cold sun. A cold, cold sun. Well, it looks like you are happy without me. Worship your man and give your love devoutly, while I sit at home on my bed and I'm getting you back with the thoughts in my head. It was 22 years ago when I saw you in the Park Hotel. You were dressed as a nun and your face burned me like a cold, cold sun. A cold, cold sun. You were dressed as